y'all, this is Michelle with the Southern Shell, and I'm coming today to share with you some of these very pretty vintage sewing cards. I've made them for some special ladies in my life, and I wanted to share them with you before I sent them on out in the mail. And the images are from Happiness in Crafting by Gi Karr. And the background, I sized it smaller, and these get cut into, just like, almost like a bookmark, I would think. Now, I have used, G has several what she calls Friday freebies, and they're on her Facebook group. And if you are a subscriber to her channel, which I'll link below, and then you join the Facebook group every Friday, she does a Friday freebie on the Facebook page. And that's where I've gotten a lot of my papers for today. And they're different little prints that she does. And this time I used, like I said, these bookmarks type. They're like bookmarks. I wouldn't say they're necessarily bookmarks. Let me get this last one done here. And I've also used the bodice, and I'll show you what those look like as well. Okay, on the bodice, I went ahead and I uploaded it into the Cricut design space, and then I did some editing on that and cleaned it up, and then had my Cricut, we did a print and cut so that I didn't have to fussy cut these out. And there's different sizes here. Now I used the medium sizes for my cards, and these were the original sizes. And so on your Cricut, when I did the print and cut, it would be a larger one. So we'll go ahead and do one today, and I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and do that one. So I'm going to put these right up here on the top. So let's see what we're looking at. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I got started on this. Well, the first thing I did was I did some inking on the edges, just so that the white core didn't show. But this isn't showing very much at all since I did the print and cut. Those that I actually hand cut are showing a little bit, so I am going to get out my vintage walnut. So I'm just going to come through, and I'm just going to darken up those edges a little bit, so where there is white showing, we're just going to bring some of that vintage photo in. I think I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges on this one. I did not do it on here. The first thing I did was I created my little bodice. So let's go ahead and get started on that. And I had some lace. I'm just going to cut me a little strip of lace here. And I just cut it right in half. I think what I'm going to do here, though, is I may just fold that down over the top. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And make it like a double ruffle. So I have actually my hot glue gun on. And then I used not only the lace, but I used some baker's twine, and then I used another lace with that, which is this one here. I believe this one came from the Dollar Tree, and I used that on the top, but I don't know if I'm going to use that one, since I'm going to go ahead and fold this down and use that top one as the ruffle. So while my hot glue gun heats up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my pieces here, and they're just going to go on randomly. Now I want some of the images to show, so I want to be mindful of that as I put these on here. I may end up go ahead and going on back to this. So let's cut a piece out. And let's find some baker's twine. I'm going to use this darker one here. I used a much darker one on these, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and stick with a lighter one here. You can tell the difference. This is, I believe I got this from Michael's on clearance, Hobby Lobby, and this is Dollar Tree. So much thinner, the Dollar Tree one is. So, but it was the color that I was looking for that particular card. So I always tie knots, and then I'll cut it right down the center because I don't want it fraying. I've got the lace ready to go, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and I want it to be right at the waistline, but I'm just going to bring in the corners. That way I can have it pooch up just a little bit. And then I'm just going to bring that corner right into that hot glue. Since I have 2 layers, I'm going to put a little bit over the top of that. And I'm going to do this side over here. Bring that corner right into the glue and put some right over the top of that. Now that leaves us with a real poofy part here. Now you can take a needle and thread, and you can thread on through there and gather it up and make it a little gathering, but I'm just going to use the hot glue. Now the bottom piece I want to be a little more snug around the bodice here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take some more hot glue, and I'm going to pull those sides around just from the bottom piece. And that leaves me with a little bit of a tight skirt on the bottom. And so I'm going to pull this center up, and I'm going to dab a little hot glue right on the center. And then that little center piece is going to plug right on down in there. And I want the rest of these to poof up around it. And then we're going to do that again on this side. We're just going to pinch that center piece right on down into that glue. And I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm doing my own little gather using hot glue. Pooch it up and push it down. Now if you can see here, when you pooch it up, and you can push down on that center piece, and that'll grab right in your glue. And that's what I'm doing. I just did a little tiny dot of glue, and then I'm just taking the center of that lace and pushing that center piece right on down into that glue. And that makes our little gather across the front of that dress. Now I want to tack the bottom pieces down just a little bit, so I don't have to worry about them flying open, since they're cut the same width as the bottom. And that's going to give us, once again, a little poof. A little bit of glue. The corner of that top one is going right on into the glue. So now we have a tight little lace part on the bottom and a poofy lace part on the top, but we only used the one piece of lace and we folded it in half. Now we can put the same binding around like we did. We laced it in there, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I might do something different on that waistband. There we have the little bodice done. And that's going to go onto our card. I want to go ahead and getting lace on the bottom, and I'm just going to flip it over, and I want it random, so I'm not going to pay too much attention. I kind of looked at it and I want it on the bottom, so I want it to be just kind of go right across. I'm going to put a little bit of that hot glue, and that's going to come right on over. Now you don't have to use the hot glue here. I have found that my art glitter glue does work as well. Now on this side, I want it to come up even with this one here so that I know it's straight across the front. And bring that right on over. Now I could easily put that across there, or I can tie another piece like I did on those others. I don't know if I want the baker's twine on there or not. I might leave it off of this one. Let me get them, maybe some little pearls. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. You see how that frays? I'm going to use that to my advantage here. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the knot that I made. Now you don't have to do this. Like I said, you can use whatever you want to use. If you want to use baker's twine, use baker's twine. You don't have to put anything on there if you don't want to. This is just preference. But I wanted a little something else there. And I like the colors of this, so I'm going to go ahead and just unwind it. I'm just going to bring this across the front here. Now this one is going to need to be trimmed off some, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Glue that on down there. Trim off those extras so we don't have all that bulk back there. Now this is just a card front for an A2 card base. So your A2 is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. And so it can afford to hang over a hair, but not too much. So now what I'm thinking about doing is making a little bit of a belt, which I can use this white one here. I'm going to bring it around and have a little bow in the front of it. It holds it in place for me. And then to stop this from fraying anymore, put a little bit of my art glitter glue. Give it a twist. Let's see if we can get a little bow out of this. Let's do a little pearl, a little gem in the middle of that. So I'm going to do a drop of hot glue. And I'm going to hold that down into that hot glue. And I'm going to come and I'm going to put something on the front of that. So I have my box of pretties. Now here are some White Recollections ones, and these are from Walmart. So I'm going to not trust its adhesive on the ribbon, so I'm going to add a little dab of hot glue there, and I'm going to put that little pearl right on over that. I also thought how pretty it would be. Put some little pearls. You can do so much with these. Look at that. Okay, so we've got our bodice done. And what I did with these is I actually popped them up on foam. Because of what is on the back of them, I wanted it to be a little, not be lumpy when I put it down. So I use these, I have these foam sheets, and I am just going to cut me a strip that's going to go right down the center, and I want it, I'm just going to look, and it's like, okay, this is just over an inch. So if I just come in and just cut me an inch strip, that should go right down that center rather nicely. Oh, I'm so close. Just trim those corners just a little bit. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm on the phone with my hubby. Some of you know he drives truck, so when I get to talk to him, I can. You know, I do. Okay, so the butterflies that are on here, these are Dollar Tree stickers that I have taken and cut apart, and I've had them in here for some time. And I didn't want the corrugated board behind them, so I went ahead and took that off. I also found some words that I may go ahead and put on there, but some of these had like a bright pink or this lavender, and it really didn't match very well. And so I popped those buttons off, and I popped the green ones off of a different one. And because I didn't want laugh, I've got hope, inspire, love, and dream. So I'm going to move those out of the way. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off the top of that butterfly. Here's the corrugated one behind it. And I'm going to go ahead and just add some shape to that. And I really don't want that foam dot on the bottom. It doesn't have a lot of sticking power, so I'm going to pull that off and throw it away. And then I'm going to decide where I want everything. And do I want, let's see, we pop these off of the corrugated as well. Get those foam pieces off of there. All right, let's see. Cut that down. Pop some more hot glue on there. Put that button back on. I'm going to put some foam underneath. Now this foam is much better quality, so I don't have to worry about it sticking. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that on there. Right there. I'm going to take my foam adhesive off of the bodice. And then a little dab of that hot glue, the center for one butterfly. And I'm going to do a little hot glue. So there is the new card front. And that will go on an A2 card, just like this. And it'll sit, oh, I didn't measure. Look at that. Well, I'll have to trim that down. That's funny. Well, it's a good thing everything fits. I'll have to trim that down. Okay. Measure, measure, measure. I thought it was too good to be true. Now, do I want, I think I want to go ahead and do the hope and inspire and love on these as well. Hey, after some finagling, I was able to get that trimmed down. I had to move over my dream. I had to lift up my laces and then trim it down. So I've got my card front here. And I'm going to add some foam onto the back of my card front. And this will help hold in our laces, our baker's twine, but it will also give us a flatter surface to adhere down to the top of our card. Now I'm going to go ahead and just ink the edges on that just a little bit. Make sure you're putting it on right. Oh, the way I've been doing things today. Get it as centered as you can. Isn't that pretty? Now, on the inside of these, I took that leftover corrugated butterfly and I put it on this inside. So I'm going to take the foam pieces off because we want the inside to be as flat as possible. I use my art glitter glue. put your message right in the center. And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed today's card video. I really enjoyed making these, and I hope that the ladies that are receiving these will enjoy them as much as I did enjoy making them. So I will be able to get everything packaged up and out in the mail, and that's why that's a little, I used a pre-made card, and I'm like, that is so much longer. Yes, it is. But that's okay. My goodness. Okay, there we have it, ladies and gents. Thank you, my crafty friends, for joining me on this adventurous card making day. Oh my word. You never know with me. So be safe out there, guys. My husband is driving in some weather, and it's a little slick. So you know, after what happened in Texas, it's just a little unnerving sometimes, but, you know, I know that I am not in control, and my faith lies elsewhere. So, thank you all once again for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of this type of video, give me a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, I hope that you would consider doing so now and hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to know when I'm uploading a new video, go ahead and hit that bell button, and that'll send you a notification when I've uploaded a new video. So, as always, my dear friends, I hope you're all staying safe. God bless, and bye for now.